Hello and welcome to Elden Ring. I'll be your host for this playthrough, Goran Starborn, and I'm going to be moving through the game with a bit more of a deliberate focus on information than I think you'll see in other playthroughs of this game, or at least that I've seen. I've actually been watching some other playthroughs and reading the wiki and thought to myself, what if they were combined? What if somebody made a playthrough series where they tried to find everything and also read everything? That'd be neat. So that's what this series is going to try to do. Now there'll be lots of gameplay, editing, and voicing, so hopefully it's a bit more entertaining than just information gathering, and I sincerely hope you'll enjoy yourselves watching it. Now we come to class selection. I know the highest rankings for starting class on the wiki are Vagabond and Samurai, but I was doing some research for this playthrough because I am going for a specific build. There's a bit more about looks than it is about min-maxing damage or anything. So while the Vagabond would get us closer to the stats we need for the initial weapon, we're gonna go with the Confessor because it's pretty much the only way to get the semi-Reaper looking clothes within the first 20 hours of gameplay. I am going for a death-like playthrough where I'll be using a combination of Reapers and Dark Shadow spells. The Reaper we're going for is called Grave Scythe. Again, I'm choosing it for its looks rather than high damage output. Has a much better Dark Grim Reaper vibe than any of the other Reapers. I know a lot of you are thinking, ooh, get the Winged Scythe, but Winged Scythe looks more angelic than I'd like and does holy damage, so we're giving it a pass. The Grave Scythe we're getting requires 17 strength and 13 dex, so as the Confessor I'll need to work up to that. It also is not guaranteed to be anywhere and must be farmed from Gravekeeper skeletons in Limgrave. If that takes a long time to do, I guess I'll throw in a montage or something. I think we're done with class selection now though, and I know what stats need to go up, so let's continue to character creation, where I'll promptly make a cut to the end like this, because I've never been entertained by watching people move sliders in RPGs. But here's the final product, with the shadowy skin, the shadowy eyes, the shadowy hair, and a 3 fingers tattoo, 'cause reasons. Now let us away to the introductory cinematic of the game.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. for Alu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Wow, now that guy was excited. I could learn a thing or two about enthusiasm from him, but for now we're going to do some reading. There's a bit more of it in the early parts of the game since we have a few bits thrown at us all at once due to class selection and common items shown in tutorial areas and such. I'm going to try my best to make it sound like the reading isn't just coming from a 33-year-old IT guy clinging desperately to his childhood, okay? So here goes. The memory of grace. Memory of first grace, which once guided bygone tarnish to the lands between. Lose all runes and return to the last site of grace visited. It is merely a cycle. Stand before the Elden Ring. Become the Elden Lord. The urgent heal is an incantation of the Two Fingers Faithful. It heals a small amount of health. This incantation can be cast while in motion. The Two Fingers has high hopes for the tarnished, that even if they should be wounded, even should they fall, they will continue to fight for their duty. The Assassin's Approach is an incantation of the Two Fingers' servants who once served as the assassins of the Roundtable Hold. Completely silences the footsteps of the caster. Additionally reduces fall damage and sound produced by falling. This sorcery can be cast while in motion or crouching. The assassins were charged with eliminating tarnished who had strayed from guidance. The broadsword is a straight sword with a wide blade, suited to slashing attacks. Horizontal swings boast wide attack ranges, making it easier to connect with foes. The skill applied to this weapon is square off. This skill starts with the sword held level. Follow up with a normal attack to slash upwards through the enemy's guard, or a strong attack to perform a running thrust. The finger seal is a sacred seal bestowed by a finger maiden, which serves as a catalyst for casting sacred incantations. Incantations must be memorized first at a site of grace, and a sacred seal must be equipped to cast them. This seal has no skill. Any armament held in the opposite hand will use its own skill by default. A medium-sized metal shield is the Blue Crest Heater Shield. Easier to handle than a kite shield. The crest represents a forest and river. Skill applied to this shield is parry. Use this skill in time with a foe's melee attack to deflect it and break that foe's stance. This provides an opening to perform a critical hit. And then we come to the armor, which is all Confessor armor, so it's probably going to be a big paragraph that's exactly the same on every piece of armor, and then a little paragraph that differs by like one word or something. The Confessor hood is a black hood for blending in with the darkness, worn by church confessors and death. The church is outside the lands between, dedicated to the teachings of the Two 'Send confessors out to follow the guidance of grace. The confessors are loyal servants to the Two Fingers, ready to hunt down and quietly dispose of their enemies. The black leather armor of a confessor, the black leather gloves, and the black leather boots. And that is currently all we have on our person. Until now. The Tarnished's Wizened Finger is an item for online play. Can also be used from the messages menu. Used to write messages. Your messages will be conveyed to other worlds, allowing other players to read them. A finger of corpse wax so emaciated the bone is visible. It is a relic of those who came before, left to help those who would come after. Neat. Let's open this door and see what's in the big, bright, beautiful yonder. Get out of this dark, Chapel of Anticipation, I just remembered it's called. I also remember watching a video by another person that I like to watch who said, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it? And, yeah. Yeah, it is. I'll kind of stumble around here, maybe smack some stuff. I want to be overly detailed in this playthrough. Try to find everything that I possibly can. And of course, you know, there's going to be editing and voicing and things of that nature. And if I don't actually find anything, I'm not gonna... Well, the editing is less magical if you explain it completely. So we'll just leave it at that. There's going to be editing. Just looking for things around this place. Seems a little weird that it's just like a big block of stone. I guess it is like a giant plinth for a giant statue, but you'd think like just this stairway leading up here makes it look like you'd be able to go in it. Like, oh, the illusory wall, and it's like, no. And you're like, oh, sad day. And it's like, get wrecked, kid. But not really, because it's an inanimate object, you know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm gonna go back up to the Chapel of Anticipation, because I just thought of something. Look around just a tad more. Make sure I didn't skip anywhere that I could have walked along or jumped on. Suppose I could be walking on this stuff, right? That looks like death. Bloodstains pretty much confirm it. Oh, what is this? Door is blocked. But I want to go in there. What, dude? I need to figure out how to get back here. I don't remember. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, dude. Oh, this feels so close to being able to get up there. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, oh, oh. No, I mean this close to the beginning of the game, I'm sure they spent a lot of time making sure you couldn't do that there. Probably an invisible wall if you do manage to jump that high. So let's just go attempt to, and most likely fail at, killing the first boss. Hello. The Grafted Sire. Yep. Yep, we failed at that.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
I do not have a kind. I am death. The flask of crimson tears, and the flask of cerulean tears. Flask of crimson tears is a sacred flask modeled after a golden holy chalice that was once graced by a tear of blessing. Filled with crimson tears, this flask restores HP with use. Rest at a site of grace to replenish. The one washed up on the gravesite was sure to die until this flask offered its gift of rejuvenation, to seek the Elden Ring. The flask of cerulean tears is also a sacred flask modeled after a golden holy chalice. Filled with cerulean tears, this flask restores FP with use. Rest at a site of grace to replenish. Nifty. Hello, ghost. What have ye to say of this place? Brave tarnished, take the blood of learning and remembrance. Recall the arts of war and your warrior's blood. Very well. It is here we shall rest and continue the playthrough next time. And if you're still watching at the end of this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, you know, whatever, you do your stuff, right? Unless, of course, you just stuck around because you had like a rabbit hole thing going on and you were like, why can't I stop watching this video? It really sucks. Hopefully that's not the case, though. Hopefully you hit those buttons.